The Fees Must Fall protest, as you'd remember, began nearly 3 years ago. Poor students now have free education, but in some ways it came at a heavy cost. Let's explore that angle with another of our reporters, Michael Marilia, who's joining us this afternoon. And Michael, university's fairly stable at the moment, but South Africa is still dealing with those issues from the fallout of the Fees Must Fall demonstrations.
Yeah, absolutely, Thembekile. It seems like a long time ago, the first protest which we started seeing at Wits University. But in fact, just 3 years ago, really, lots of stops and starts in this battle for free education over the last few years. And we're going to explore some of those as they unfolded. So the 14th of October, we saw one of the first major protests, Thembekile. This was a sit-in at Wits University. Activists effectively deciding that they would shut down the campus for the day. They were opposing a plan to hike fees by 10.5%. We saw even more action just over a week later, Thembekile. You'll remember this, thousands of students converging on the union buildings in Pretoria, demanding that President Jacob Zuma scrap all plans to hike fees that year. They wanted an audience with the president. They actually wanted him to come out and greet them. He did not do that, but a few hours after the protest, we did get word that government had scrapped all plans for fee hikes for 2016. So the students certainly achieving some measure of success in that respect. Fast forward to 2017, Thembekile, and a political bombshell at the ANC's elective conference last December. President Jacob Zuma saying that there would be free higher education for poor and needy students, provided they met a certain threshold. Many within the ANC were not expecting that particular decision, but President Zuma made the announcement and it went ahead. So it would seem at that point that a chapter had been closed, that we now had free education for the poor. But it's not quite as simple, Thembekile, because several activists are still facing charges for some of the activity that they were involved in during the height of the Fees Must Fall program. Thabo Dlamini is one such person. The 15th of October 2016, he was arrested for public violence. And then this man, Bonginkosi Kanyile, one of the activists at the forefront of the campaign at the Durban University of Technology, he was arrested back in September 2016, and what a story he has to tell. He was behind bars effectively for nearly 6 months, Thembekile. Eventually, he went to the Constitutional Court to secure bail in March 2017. That was granted. An interesting little sidebar, by the way, he continued his studies while he was behind bars, and he graduated cum laude while studying in jail. That being said, he was convicted of public violence just a few weeks ago, the 13th of August, in fact, and it remains to be seen what happens and what comes out of this request for a pardon. He is due to be sentenced on the 16th of October. So although Fees Must Fall may have achieved some of its objectives, Thembekile, the story by no means is over.